guys, welcome back to Syllabus Cracker, and today's video I am doing a chapter called Birds and Hands by O. Henry. So, or some pen name, original name is William Sidney Porter, who was an American writer. So the story is a little amazing, and there is a tragic twist at last. We will look at that. Without any time, let's start the story. This place or the location is at Denver, a place called Denver. In a train, the name of the train is specified, B&M Express, eastbound B&M Express. That's the name of the train, and you can see like an influx of passengers, like a group, like many people, just like a group, are sitting there, traveling to different places. And in one coach there is a pretty young woman, and she is sitting, although she is having a luxurious life like an experienced traveler. Okay, and suddenly two men's young, two newcomers. It is in this story, O. Henry mentions it is a two newcomers. So anyway, those two person enters, and one of them is young handsome man, and other one is ruffled glum-faced man. Both of them are handcuffed to each other. What do you don't you if you don't know the meaning of handcuff, just look at the image, you'll understand. That's all. So they were both handcuffed to each other. So we said there were a group of people, so most of the seats would be not empty, most of them would be full. But if we see our story, so where this young lady, experienced traveler, where she is sitting, the opposite side to is an empty seat. So these two newcomers saw the empty seat and just went to there to sit down, facing the young woman. So they were facing to each other, the young lady and the both of the newcomers. So here the O. Henry mentioned that here the linked couples seated themselves. It means both of that club-faced man and the handsome man. So then suddenly the young lady, she have a name, Miss Fairchild. Her name is Miss Fairchild. So this Miss Fairchild slightly look over that two passengers slightly, because she's having a gray, what we call, glove in gray glove in both of the hands. So she suddenly just looked at them, and he noticed that it was his old friend Mr. Easton, that handsome man. So this Easton. So suddenly this Miss Fairchild asked Miss Easton. So she said, "Well, Mr. Easton, if you will make me speak first, I suppose I must. Don't you ever recognize old friends when you meet them?" And first, it is clear that they both are old friends, and now by a chance they meet up. But the only condition is they both, that two glove-faced men and this young man, are handcuffed. That's the only condition. So then this man suddenly smiled and said, "It's Miss Fairchild." So he smiled and said, "Sir, Miss Fairchild." And he also said, "I will ask you to excuse the other hand. It is otherwise engaged at the present." When he said this, Miss Fairchild looked at their hands and noticed that it was handcuffed. So she smiled because now he is meeting old friend. But by seeing this handcuff, her smile or bliss went away, because they both are handcuffed, so like a criminal. So Miss Fairchild thought that would be a criminal, that's why. So his smile went away, the glow faded from her cheeks, and her lips parted in vague relaxing distress. So the glum so when her glow faded from her cheeks, that glum-faced man, that glum-faced man watched the girl's expression, had watched the girl's expression, and he said that, "You will excuse me for speaking, miss, but I see you're acquainted with a marshal here." So marshal, you know what a marshal is. "If you will ask him to speak a word for me when we get to the pen, he will do it, and it will make things easier for me then. He's taking me to Leavenworth prison." So This Mr. Easton is taking this confused man to a prison. What is the name of the prison? Leavenworth. Leavenworth. Leavenworth prison. It's 7 years for counterfeiting. So it's a 7 year counterfeiting, he said. So the girl in that Mr. Fairchild with the surprise, oh, with a deep breath and returning color. She says that, so that is what you're doing out here, Marshal. So he suddenly noticed the duty of this mysteries. So after that, Mr. Eason said, my dear Miss Fairchild, I have to do something. Money has a way of taking wings unto itself, and you know it takes money to keep step with our crowd in Washington. I saw this opening in the West, and where the marshalship isn't quite as high position as that of ambassador. But when he said the word ambassador, Miss Fairchild replied, the ambassador doesn't go anymore. He needn't ever hear done so. You ought to know that. And so now you are one of these dashing Western heroes, and you ride and shoot and go into all kind of dangers. That's different from the Washington life. You have been missed from the old crowd. So now Miss Fairchild notices the difference between how he lived earlier and the Washington life. The girl's eyes become somewhat fascinated because these are both of them are handcuffed. So when she get fascinated, the other man from the crowd say that don't you worry about the miss. So like a camel, that's all. All the marshal handcuff themselves to their prisoners to keep them from getting away. Mr. Easton knows his prisoner. So other man, they're like a supporting others. So he says about his business. Okay. So will you then after that the girl asked whether he will come again in Washington. That time the man replied, he don't know what no, he said not soon, May. I think because he's not sure about his answer, but he said not soon. So you cannot see soon. He said my butterfly days are over, I fear. What is butterfly days? What is the duty of a butterfly? They can fly freely. So now he is not a free. He is a marshal. So and he have a criminal with him. So he may not come soon to Washington. That's what Mr. Easton says. The girl suddenly says that she loves the West. Her eyes were like a shining softly, and suddenly she looked outside the car window. Okay. So, and after that, she just simply say about her old time. So she says that Mama and I spent the summer in Denver. She went home a week ago because father was slightly ill. I could live and be happy with the West. I think the air here agrees with me. Money isn't everything, but people always misunderstand things and remain stupid. So now she says her own experience with her and her mother and present condition of her father. He is slightly ill. So he say money. She say money isn't everything. Yes, money is the everything. He understands against the people. Miss Fairchild does that. So the glum-faced man says, "Say, Mr. Marshall," he said, "this isn't quite fair. I'm needing a drink and even had a smoke all day. Haven't you talked long enough? Take me in the smoker now. Won't you? I'm half dead for a pipe." So it is clear that the gum-faced man drinks and smokes a lot. So that is what he says. He is almost half dead man for this a pipe. Okay, and after that he lightly said, I can't deny a petition for tobacco because it's his favor. So after that, what happened was that this Mr. Easton took leave by saying slightly farewell. You know what I mean by farewell? In Merchant of Venice, we say goodbye. Because both of the hands, his right hand were handcuffed with his left hand, he's slightly made a farewell. That is a goodbye. And he said, he must be going to Leavenworth. Why he is going to Leavenworth? Why Mr. Easton is going to Leavenworth? Because he's a criminal and going to Leavenworth prison. We discussed during the starting about the Leavenworth prison. Just remember. So the two men, that is this handsome man, Mr. Easton, and the glum-faced man, settle down into the smoking area. There must be a smoking area in trains. I don't know whether there is. So it was a cluster of people. Yes. So two men were sitting next to the Mr. Easton and the glum-faced man. So consider Miss Fairchild is sitting here, Mr. Easton and Glumface Menace sitting over here. So next to here there were two men. They almost heard the most of the conversation of Miss Fairchild and Mr. Easton with the glum-faced man, and they said that's a Martian, a good sort of chap. Some of these Western fellows are all right, so they are supporting like Mr. Easton. Pretty young to hold an office like that, isn't he? It's the second man from that blue past. So the first man again replied, young, said, and why, oh, didn't you catch on? Say, did you ever know an officer to handcuff a prisoner to right hand? The specialty is, did you ever know that an officer to handcuff a prisoner in a right hand? But here it's a just like a weird manner, that's all. So hope this chapter herds and hands is clear to you. I know in most of the chapter is almost 3 and 1 by 4 pages only. So that's all. I just said a small recap of the chapter. Okay, that's all. So hope it was clear. If you have any doubt regarding this chapter, please comment below. I will surely reply. Also, if you visit the description box below, you can see the other link to the video also. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye bye.